USAID funds. So remember, there have been allegations rather of foreign interference in Indian elections. Was it really a part of a ploy to defeat the Prime Minister Modi, or did USAID send $21 million to India, or was that grant sent to Bangladesh? That big question really has led to a massive war of words. But first of all, it was, remember, the US President Donald Trump's USAID storm that caused tremors in India as well. And then a new report led to a political aftershock. Look at your screen. Now, Trump on 3 different occasions spoke about 21 million India fund from USAID for voter turnout. He claims that it was to get someone else elected, as it called a big breakthrough and something that he plans to tell the Indian government about. And on the 3rd occasion, he called it a kickback scheme. After Trump dropped this $21 million bombshell, a media report later surfaced which claimed that this was for Bangladesh and not really for India. BJP, which had earlier called Trump's statement a confirmation of foreign interference, now claims that this reference to $21 million in the news report seems to be misleading. It has been misrepresented. On the other hand, agreeing with the report, as one would expect, is the Congress party, which had called Trump's claims nonsensical, amplified by the BJP. First of all, watch the war of words.
अब कल ट्रंप जी ने नई एक बात कि ये 21 मिलियन भारत में गया। एक खोजी पत्रकारों ने ये निकाला है कि ये भारत को नहीं गया, ये बांग्लादेश को गया। अब हम पूछ रहे हैं मोदी जी से कि अपने पड़ोस में लोकतंत्र को अस्थिर करने के लिए 21 मिलियन अमेरिका ने भेजा और आपको पता ही नहीं चला।
भ्रम की राजनीति करने में बहुत आगे है और फैला रहे हैं कि ऐसा नहीं वैसा नहीं। 21 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स ये वहां की जो मिनिस्ट्री है वो कह रही है। तो अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति और उनका डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एफिशिएंसी DOGE दोनों ये बात कह रहा है। क्या इसका उत्तर कोई देगा?
And there are claims, counterclaims that obviously seem to be emanating far as the USAID funds are concerned. But who we trust, viewers? That's the big question. MEA has called it deeply troubling. The allegations, they say, are troubling, they are disturbing, and also said that relevant authorities are looking into it. But the question is, was there an attempt to influence Indian elections, or has there been a mix-up? Because when Musk really, his Musk-led Dodge really revealed that it was a wasteful expenditure, that was on 16th of February, it also mentioned both India and also Bangladesh. It also mentioned $21 million for India and $29 million for Bangladesh. And the latest comment really from Donald Trump also talks about Bangladesh, and the amount is $29 million to strengthen the political landscape. Listen in.
And $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? They took some internet ads for $2,000. This is a total breakthrough. And $21 million for voter turnout in India. Why are we caring about India turnout? We got enough problems. We want our own turnout, don't we? Can you imagine all that money going to India? I wonder what they think when they get it. Now, it's a kickback scheme. You know, it's not like they get it and they spend it. They kick it back to the people that send it, I would say, in many cases. Many of these cases, anytime you have no idea what we're talking about, that means there's a kickback, because nobody has any idea what's going on there. $29 million to strengthen the political landscape in Bangladesh. Nobody knows what they mean by political landscape. What does that mean?
All right, then Trump seems to be repeating this USAID charge once again. This is another fresh attack which has come from the side of Donald Trump. He's questioned USAID funding to India, the $21 million for India. But what about us? That's a big statement which has come from the side of US President Donald Trump, once again questioning the USAID funding. Srinjoy is joining us live on the broadcast. Srinjoy, while on one hand we have a big war of words which is, escalating in India, Trump seems to have once again fired another jibe, another attack far as this funding is concerned. Let's listen into what Trump had to say, and then I'll come to you.
Participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million going to my friend Prime Minister Modi in India for voter turnout. We're giving 21 million for voter turnout in India. What about us? I want voter turnout too, Governor.
Okay, Srinjoy is joining us live on the broadcast. Srinjoy, over to you. Take us through Trump's statement. Another day, another attack coming in from President Donald Trump. But obviously, this is in the backdrop of a war of words which is happening in India over the newspaper report which claim that this money particularly was for Bangladesh, not for India. That, despite of all the war of words obviously happening in India, Trump has lobbed another attack, once again raking up this issue.
First of all, Trump has said two different things at two different times. Of course, sometimes he said the same thing at the same time. There can be two things here. One, the money was spent in India on voter turnout. That's one possibility. The other thing he says that it was a kickback, which means that the money was officially sent to India and then someone kicked it back so that the money went into the pocket of someone in America. Now, both points have been made by President Trump. Which one is true? That has to be investigated, and that is going to be investigated by the Americans, by the MEA. You heard Ranjit Jaiswal say yesterday that this is a troubling thing and we are looking into it. So clearly the Indian government is looking into it, the Trump administration is looking into it, and we'll have to find out where that $21 million went. If it came to India for election expenditure, well, who got the money and what happened to it? And if it did come to India and it was sent back as a kickback, then who was responsible for it? Who got that money and who sent it back? These are all things that have to be investigated. And I guess we'll know soon what actually happened to these $21 million.
Srinjoy, thank you for joining us with all these updates. Viewers, let's once again listen in to the latest statement which has come from the side of Donald Trump. Trump once again repeating the USA charge.
Participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million going to my friend, Prime Minister Modi in India, for voter turnout. We're giving 21 million for voter turnout in India. What about us? I want voter turnout too, Governor.
All right, with that, we'll step into a short commercial break. News